Hello, Fitness USA, the show. Exercise is medicine. Strength training is stronger medicine. With your host, Batista Gramode, and myself, Stephen Hersey, aka Dr. Fitness USA.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dr. Fitness USA, the show, for another amazing episode. And today, our guest is really amazing. Gail Gensler is a sixtypreneur. How do you like that? Who is changing the narrative around aging through fitness and embracing a healthy lifestyle from a real woman's perspective. For her, aging should never determine one's lifestyle, appearance, and most certainly what type of workout they do. Her goal is to change the narrative around aging so that younger people can realize that it's something to embrace and look forward to, and to inspire and motivate their peers to never take their wellness for granted. Today, our topic is a vibrant, healthy life is achievable regardless of age. Welcome, Gail. We are so excited to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me, and I am equally as excited to be here speaking with both of you.
Cool. So listen, before we go on with the whole outfit and the presentation and all these amazing things that you're doing with your life, how did you get started as a pro-aging fitness enthusiast?
I mean, as far as the fitness is concerned, I've been athletic my entire life. So that's just kind of wired into my DNA. And because I've never stopped doing it, I don't stop doing it. Energy begets energy, as you know. And so I'm just always in motion and always have been. However, the business side started to come to my consciousness several years ago. I was 58. And here in South Florida, we have these over 55 communities. And at that time, I was already 58, and I'm watching these commercials on television, and it looks lovely in theory, right? People clearly are retired and living a lovely lifestyle. They were playing leisurely rounds of golf or doubles tennis or going for a stroll, and all that is great. Except that I did not see myself there. Mind you, I could never see myself in a place like that, but just from a larger approach, I didn't see somebody who was still in beast mode like I was and still am, boxing and doing HIIT classes and doing all kinds of very high energy things and having great adventures. And I started to dig a little bit deeper into that. And then I thought, I can't be the only one that's thinking such things. And so I looked into my favorite platform, Instagram, which at that time I was really just using purely for enjoyment purposes. And lo and behold, I find that there's this very large global community of midlife people, primarily comprised of women, who had the same mindset that I did. And I thought there have to be publications, magazines, podcasts, there has to be other people out there, and thus began my journey. And at the time, I was a member of a particular boxing gym in the area where I live. I still go there from time to time. And I approached the owner with the idea. I said, you know, I bet you that people, my contemporary here on Brickell, where I live, think that this is only for younger people, for a younger demographic. I said, how about if we make a video and you put it on your social media and let's see what happens. And it just so happened another member was a videographer, wonderful. We made this video and we actually tracked the metrics. And so the younger people were showing it to their parents. And typically the response was, wait, you mean I can go to some place like that? And so there was an uptick in the membership of a little older demographic. And I'm very pleased to say that now when I go there from time to time, I do see a very varied demographic, and that warms my heart.
That is a great story. I love this because when we go to the gym and we see the silver sneakers and we look at the room where there are everybody's sitting in chairs and they're just kind of like, just pretty much just flopping their arms, we go, my God, and we see all these equipment where people could actually really build their strength, and the education for older adults needs a lot of attention. So we're very, very excited that you are on the same path as us to enlighten the population that aging is okay. Stephen?
Okay, so in your daytime, what people might not know is that as an entrepreneur involved in fashion, you also have a real job. So a lot of times women have jobs or they're involved in taking care of their family, and they use it as an excuse not to exercise. It's something on the back burner. So I want to know your mindset when you first get out of bed in the morning and you have an opportunity to exercise and get your body in action and start the day rolling as you put on your wonderful selection of clothes that displays your attributes, so to speak. So if we're talking to women, what's really important is how do you place your mindset that exercise or health becomes first, and these chores or intellectual responsibilities come afterwards, because most of the time it's work first and either exercise or no exercise.
So much to the horror of many of the people that I speak with, I get up at 4 a.m. and I am at the gym at 5. And that is simply because my schedule dictates that is how it rolls out. I have to be at work at 7:30 in the morning. I'm a morning person anyway, but if I didn't have to be in the gym at 5, I probably would be in the gym at 6, which is a little more digestible time for most. It is, you said the key word, right? The key word is mindset. And it's just really all a matter of what's important to you, what your priorities are. My health has always been my priority. How I feel throughout the course of the day. I'm actually in the automotive industry. I have been for 36 years. I've been at the same company for almost 24. It's a very stressful business, but it's a great business. I have everything in my life to thank for that. Anything I do on the side when it comes to fashion or fitness or anything like that's all a side hustle that I do. It's great. I love it. I mean, I make a little money. It's great, but it's not how I pay my mortgage. I can't see my life any other way. As I said, for me, working out is fun. Do I love all of my workouts at 5 o'clock in the morning? No, I don't love all those workouts at 5 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes by the time 6 a.m. rolls around, I'm like, what the heck just happened? But I know I was here, but I don't know what just happened. The workouts that I do on the weekends are the ones I really look forward to. Those are super fun for me. There are all kinds of fitness events here in Miami on a regular basis, and I avail myself of so many of them, again, for a plethora of reasons. Excuses, anybody can make excuses for anything they don't really want to do. But I think if you find a compelling why, right? Why am I doing these things? Let's dig a little deeper than the fact that I love it. It's my fun. I love the whole sense of community. It's like my club kid days, but as an adult for me. But I know that I want to stay disease-free for as long as I possibly can. As I tell my daughter, I come from a family of long-lived human beings. My grandparents, they should rest in peace, were 97 and 94. And my parents, they should rest in peace, were 92 and 90. So let's assume that I have the good Gensler genetics and I'm going to be around for a while, God willing. I don't ever want to be a burden to my daughter, number one. And I want to keep on being in beast mode for as long as I possibly can. I just saw a woman who ran a marathon at the age of 100. I'd like to be that woman, right? There is no reason I shouldn't be doing what I want to do, regardless of my age. But you have to put the odds in your favor. So in order to help that happen, you have to eat a clean, healthy, regime, right? Which I do. I'm a keto fan. I'm an intermittent fasting fan. That's how I live my life. I stay hydrated. I get lots of sleep. I get 8 hours of sleep. Yes, I go to bed at toddler time at 8 o'clock at night because I'm up at 4 in the morning. And the Genslers have always needed their sleep, my entire family. And I take great supplements and I work out and move my body every single day. So I'm doing the things that I can control to put the odds in my favor that I will remain disease-free for as long as I'm blessed to be on this earth.
Not everybody has that type of dedication. With all the things that you're doing, do you have time for any hobbies or other things?
I do. So, during the week is tough. It is difficult because I am on a very rigid schedule. I'll be the first one to admit, but I am a weekend warrior when it comes to having fun. Obviously I have friends, we go out, I'm single, I date, I go out. But some of the things that I consider my hobbies, I really enjoy international travel. My bestie and I do a girls trip every single year. In fact, just in January for my birthday, we were in Morocco, which was a very culturally enriching experience. So I consider that to be a hobby. And I'm always open to trying just about anything. I say yes to a lot of crazy things just to have the experience, because my feeling is I'll try it. If I don't like it, okay, guess what? I never have to do it again. Okay, all right. So yes, I still do have time, but it is primarily on the weekend.
So you're very much into fashion. And so where is that going? Do you want to actually model clothing, or how do you pick your clothing? Tell me a little more about this fashion thing.
So, I've always been a lover of fashion my whole life, and I tend to jump on a lot of trends. Along this journey of being an influencer and a brand ambassador, I have been fortunate enough to represent certain brands, which has really opened me up to exploring some things that I didn't really explore before. As a New Yorker, I have a predilection towards Black clothes. Of course, living in Miami is a whole nother deal, right? It's very vibrant, colorful here. And so I was fortunate to be able to represent a brand called Rotan Vibes. And there was my entrance into the universe of color and very tropical vibes. So that was a big shift for me to do that. And one of the things that I enjoy doing when it comes to fashion is I enjoy looking for brands that duplicate very expensive clothes at a much more affordable price. A, because it's better for my budget, but B, because I also find a certain thrill in being able to do that. One of the things that has been so great for me about midlife is really understanding my aesthetic. Knowing that I'm much more comfortable in athletic wear, my end goal is to represent my very powerful demographic, the midlife demographic, who, by the way, we control 64% of global spending in the fitness apparel space. The one thing that every human being, God willing, will have the ability to do is to age. And yet midlife models are not represented in the fitness apparel space. And that is crazy, because when I look at an ad, right, I know that when I see skinny 20-year-old girls that are 6 feet tall wearing an outfit, that doesn't speak to me. I don't look at that and go, okay, so that's what it looks like on her. I can get a good idea of what it looks like on me. Absolutely not. And I know so many women, I know this because people respond to me on Instagram and they say, that's right? Wouldn't it be better to see somebody like you? You're authentic, you're authentically living that fitness lifestyle. You clearly have a passion for fashion, right? And it comes through with the way you put yourself together with gym clothes. I could see walking into a store, seeing you, and then saying, okay, if it looks good on Gail, it'll look good on me. So that's my goal. I don't really know that I will be able to accomplish that, because it's a hard paradigm shift for the universe to make. And it starts with who's actually working in the marketing companies. Statistically, those people are under the age of 34, and they are looking at life through a very different lens than you and I are. And so they don't understand that, unfortunately.
Many people that are aging have injuries, or they may have not have the lifestyle that, for example, you've had, where you've always been active. And even personally, I mean, I was a professional dancer, and I've had a lot of injuries dancing my whole life. So in our system, we actually teach that as you age, then there are things that you can do differently to last longer. And for example, we promote not so much aerobics, not so much HIIT, but more muscle building as we age, because of course, muscle is what we lose when we get older, right?
I am cognizant of the fact that strength training as we go through the aging process becomes paramount, right? I mean, it is so important to build muscle for, I mean, I'll let Dr. Fitness speak about that, right? But now I'm really focused on it. I'm not without certain injuries. Please don't misunderstand. When I turned 60, my left shoulder started bothering me, and I went to my orthopedic doctor, and I'm like, what's going on? And he said, Gail, I know you a long time. How old are you? Of course, he knew how old I was. I said, I'm 60, Dominic. And he said, you have arthritis in your shoulder. How long have you been boxing? I said, since 1999. He said, well, that makes sense, right? And so, I took certain measures to do that, and I modified things all the time. Knock on wood, that's all I can say. I am very blessed in that I really haven't had a whole lot of injuries thus far. That's really been my biggest problem that I've had.
In particular, I noticed that when I interview powerful women, they are actually, there's always underlying issues. One of them is to maintain a certain weight level, okay? So what happens is I look at what their choice of weapons are, and in every case, it's either kickboxing or CrossFit or all these type of environments, okay, which actually takes them on a path that they don't want to go to, but they're uneducated on what's really available to them. So off camera, I spend a lot of time trying to meet women, especially with men are not excluded either, and educating them what's the protocol to keep on evolving as their hormones change and their age changes. Batista goes in the gym and she leg presses 650, which is astounding. Women in their 70s or almost 80s with severe osteoporosis leg press 475. See, so people say, well, why do you have to lift so much weight? Because it controls your nervous system.
The Feminine Body Design is a proven and tested ergonomic strength training system. It provides sustainable results for women who want to achieve their true potential, regain years of their lives, and eliminate pain. Foundational principles include 20% to 50% strength increase, which strengthens the nervous system, releases stress and quiets the mind. Establishing a solid foundation for healing the body and mind. The physical body needs to be wired and grounded to heal, unlike an overloaded electrical panel with a short circuit. Sustainable wellness depends on the body's wiring and ability to fire correctly, which is the nervous system's role. The Feminine Body Design strengthens the nervous system and teaches women to balance out the yin and yang energies while training from a female perspective. Unfortunately, the fitness industry promotes performance, based on male energy, as an avenue of success. Teaching women to do more than they can achieve comfortably, ignoring pain signals, potentially leading to injuries and hormonal imbalances. While training on the feminine body design system, success can happen despite overwhelming responsibilities and lack of time. Even when training as little as 1 or 2 times per week, because it creates a powerful brain-muscle connection. It sends blood flow and oxygen to dormant parts of the brain. It rewires the brain while opening up new creative channels. It immediately provokes a sense of calm, releases stress and quiets the mind, creating sustainable positive changes. The second principle is postural realignment. Posture is the foundation of a healthy body and mind, yet it is probably the most misunderstood aspect of a healthy and fit lifestyle. Misaligned vertebrae cause compression on the discs, accelerate the aging process, and lead to unnecessary muscle strain, disc herniation, arthritis, pinched nerves, and premature spinal deterioration. Bad posture affects the blood flow from the spinal cord to the brain. Feminine body design provides ergonomic platforms that support rebuilding the body from the inside out, correcting muscular imbalances, the primary cause of overuse injuries, and sustaining proper spinal alignment. As a result, one day, without even thinking about it, you will stand tall and empowered and have transformed not only your physique but your entire life. Here is what Dr. Erin Orpelli says.
As a doctor, when I look at your x-rays, I determine what age you are, not biologically, but by the condition of your spine. With Dr. Fitness USA's proper training techniques, you can be 80 years old and have the spine of a 20-year-old.
The third principle is education. Education puts you in the driver's seat and in charge of your own health. Body design is a skill that needs to be learned, like any sport or trade. Guidelines for success are repetition, frequency, pattern recognition. It must be duplicatable and sustainable long-term. Mastering any skill takes time, practice, consistency, and discipline. Therefore, you need education to continue practicing on your own time, independently. Results do not happen overnight. Feminine body design ergonomic strength training system is a skill set that will transform your life physically, emotionally, and mentally. Start on your feminine body design journey now. Call today to apply for a consultation. 424-287-7181.
So in 100 years from now, what do you want your legacy to be?
I actually also started this, going back to the very first question that you asked, the part that I left out, and it ties into the question you just asked me. When I would go to all of these fitness events, inevitably, some younger people would come up to me after the event and say, I know you're not the trainer, but I was actually watching you. I don't know who you are, but you are such an inspiration, right? So these were 20-year-olds looking at me. Clearly I'm in, midlife, and they're looking at me. And that just made my heart soar. And so when I look at the analytics on my Instagram and I look at the demographic of who is actually viewing me, the amount of people 20, 30, early 40s, right? Because in my mind, and there are those that would disagree, I see that midlife really starts around 45, and to me it goes to about 70. I'm very liberal in that regard, very optimistic about, like Frank Sinatra says, I'm going to live to 105. But when younger people tell me all the time how inspired they are by me, that is part of the legacy that I want to leave. To know that you can embrace aging, it's something to look forward to. It isn't something, don't fear the years, right? It's how we're all, God willing, we're all going to age. I think it's how you choose to do that aging. It's how you choose to do it. And there is a choice. It's not predetermined. It's not destined, right? You make the choice. Aside from, heaven forbid, there's a terrible illness, right? Something that you can't control. But putting those types of circumstances aside, in a regular situation where you're just aging, it is a choice of how you want to do it. And mindset is a huge portion. And when people see me, at 62, still doing all the crazy adventures that I'm doing, I know that it inspires them. So part of it is to leave the legacy for, my daughter will be 27 in August. So for women, her generation, where her friends go, wow, your mom is like still rocking it. Like she's incredible. I don't even have the energy that your mom has, right? And so that is part of the legacy. And if I'm able to accomplish at least a small piece of my goal, and, yes, I've represented certain brands, but I really want a big brand to stand up and take notice and say, we want you to be our authentic midlife model. So if I was actually able to do that, where enough people would see that somebody at 62 can be fit, can have a super active, healthy lifestyle, and clearly enjoying it, right? And authentically living it, that would be everything. But that's the legacy that I want to leave. So it's multifaceted.
We always ask for 3 takeaways to summarize the conversation. What 3 takeaways do you want to leave the audience with?
It's always a personal choice of how we want to age. Although society will constantly send messages at us saying that we should be a particular way, we should look a particular way, act a particular way, work out a particular way. You have to put the blockers on. It is a personal choice. And thank goodness we live in a place where you have that freedom to make that choice. It is all about mindset. I know that is a term that's used over and over and over again, but I don't find anything else that just really drives the point home. It is about mindset, and that is, back to point 1, a choice. And I don't ever feel anybody should stop having fun. I think that we grow old when we stop having fun, right? We have all the things that come with adulthood that aren't necessarily so much fun. There needs to be, life is a balance, right? There needs to be a balance. So whatever your fun is, for me, I'm fortunate. My fun is working out. So I will always find my fun in my next workout adventure.
From a male's point of view, it's great hearing you express yourself and everything that you talked about. It's magnificently a pleasure to have you on the show, and we want women's audiences to learn from what you expressed, how to keep yourself in action through any age without all the excuses that people come up with of not being in action.
Thank you. Thank you. And the only other thing I would say is I'm hoping that your audience has enjoyed this conversation as much as I've enjoyed participating in it with the 2 of you. And if you do, please look for me on my favorite platform, which is Instagram. I am Gail Gensler Official. You can find me on Facebook. I'm not on there that much, but you can find me on Facebook, Gail Gensler. I'm also quite active on LinkedIn, Gail Gensler. You can go check out my website, gailgensler.com. I've got lots of articles there, and you can see some of the fun things that I've done throughout the years, some of the publications that I've contributed to and been on the covers of. So that's how you find me, but I am most active on Instagram, so I would love to meet some more people on that platform. So please follow me, Gail Gensler Official.
It was an honor and a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for giving us the time to share your wisdom and your lifestyle with our audience. And there you go. It was another great episode of Dr. Fitness USA, the show. And until next time, bye-bye now.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Fitness USA's vision is to create a stronger, healthier society of people enjoying vibrant health, unshakable self-confidence, and a sculpted body they'll fall in love with. Our custom-tailored formulas act as the GPS to your ultimate transformation so you can reach your destination faster and safer without injury. The Feminine Body Design program teaches a woman the art of strength training from a female perspective and helps her achieve the feminine physique she always dreamed of having. The Body Design Formula program teaches men to achieve a sculpted manly physique without injuries. Seniors can tap into the fountain of youth, get a new lease on life, rebuild their strength, and eliminate aches and pains. Those with injuries learn to rehabilitate them, recover mobility, and relieve back, neck, shoulder, and knee pain.
Now, with working with Steven, just in, 4 workouts I think so far, if that, I have no pain in my knees like I used to.
Suddenly a quietness in the mind, clarity.
I mean, I don't have back pain anymore. It's amazing. It's just really amazing.
I'm Bernie Dorman. I'm founder and chairman of CO Space International, and I so endorse Dr. Fitness for leaders to have better lives. He does the inside and the outside to make sure you're the best leader you can ever be, and yesterday was already too late to say yes.
If your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness USA can help you achieve it.